Dang it. Start live and I ran out of coffee already. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If anybody's there, we'll give it a few minutes. Some stuff has come up since I pre-recorded the videos and everything, and got a bunch of more information out about the big old bird flu now. So I think it's important to keep up with that, the information that's coming out, because I'm afraid that they're going to use it as a tool, even though it's just the flu. Be it comes from a bird, a cow, or milk or whatever, it's just the flu. Hello, Idaho Garden Girl. Hope you're doing good today. Pat, just seen you just a few minutes ago on the live or the premiere, but I've got so much more information since I did that video. Yeah, it's crazy. Did you look into weather modifications? There's a lot in that. In Lake is the one that has been covering a lot of that, the weather and stuff. So yeah, I know she's probably getting ready to, because the weather has been really wonky this year. Everybody says it's a crazy year already, and we're still in May.
Yeah.
Hey, crazy, how you doing?
Good. I heard the word crazy, so I figured I'd come up. How is everybody?
The second one, they've been doing some funky stuff. I'll have to admit, stuff you need to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started looking at this, and just now, like what I reported about the guy in Michigan, that's just now coming out in regular news.
Oh wow!
Which is very interesting. How is backyard news getting stuff out before CNN and stuff like that? They already know about it, but I think they put it on the back burner and stuff until it's all the talk or something.
Mm-hmm. They wait to see how many more other people are going to respond to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I see some of the other YouTubers and stuff all of a sudden, breaking news. And I don't know.
Bunch of dogs in the background.
It's weird.
It is weird how they do that. They wait for the right moment. Yep.
Yeah, last year we were on a record for the most earthquakes in Ohio. That's that doesn't sound like you would think. Oh, earthquakes. That's California,
Yeah, but no.
You'd be surprised how many earthquakes are all across the United States.
Yep.
And you can keep track of how many each state has per year and whatnot.
Right. Sorry, I have a dog group.
Oh yeah. I don't.
All the money. Mm-hmm.
I don't watch him because I'm not a weather person.
Right.
If I need to know if it's going to rain or anything, I just ask TH2.
He's the rain guy. He's the weather guy.
I don't really follow the weather. I'll have people saying, you got a bad storm coming. And I'm like, is there? And I have to go outside and look because, it's, I don't really pay attention to it. The only time I
Right.
pay attention is the beginning of, well, the whole month of May, because I'm worried about my plants out in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight we're going to get down into the low 40s. North of us is supposed to be touch in the upper 30s. So
Wow.
yeah, which, our area, they say wait to get your plants out until June.
Hmm.
And I've already had mine in for
Yeah.
what, 2 weeks?
2 or 3 weeks at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're not going to get any lows like that. The lowest we're going to get is 51
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the week until next week.
Yeah. And this week has been actually nice.
It
Other
has.
than because last week we were in the 90s in May.
In
And
May.
everybody forgets it's still May.
Yep.
And up here, that's not normal.
No, that's not. We're actually, I was watching, I mean, yeah, I watched the local weather and stuff like that, but they were saying that yesterday we had a high of 84, but the year before that, or a couple of years ago, I mean, like we're in somewhat of a range, an average range, but then we're kind of low of what we usually get. I don't know. That's weird. I don't remember it being so hot like how it's been so far.
Yeah. I noticed I was watching the scientists people talk about weather, changing. I'm not going to say the words, but
Yeah.
being able to change the weather, and they wait until, or hypothetically, they wait until a cold front comes through, and then that from space, a mysterious beam comes down and heats up the upper layer of this cold front, which cold and hot together make little twisty things.
Yep.
And that's how easy it is to mess with weather.
Yeah.
And they called these people whack jobs and everything because they thought of this. And that because this was in the 1990s when they were talking about this. And now we're seeing some odd things happening.
Now the people that they were calling wacky aren't so wacky anymore.
Yeah.
Things, yeah.
Yeah.
That they were calling wacky, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, before 2020, those crazy preppers, doomsday preppers is what they called. And
Yep.
I hate that being put in that category with that show, because that show was, I thought it was more funny. I thought it was more comical than it was learning stuff.
It was. I agree with you.
Because some Angry Prepper, he was actually featured on there trying to get out of New York City.
Yep.
And he's even said they switched everything that he said and switched it around to where it sounds like he was nuts.
Yep. They edited it. Yep. Yep. That's what they do. They edit everything. So. Sorry, I got my washing machine going in the background. All right, so I swapped out. Oh, you
Hey, Blackberry Rock, how you doing? Hey, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Joe Carroll, how are you doing today? I know I just did a premiere, but since then I got a notification because I do sign up for certain things to be informed of what's coming up, and one of the things is from the CDC has just come out with some information. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's good to sign up for certain things so that way you get the updates.
Yeah.
The foods, the health, the weather. Well, your weatherman, Mr. TH2 said it should be raining where you're at right now.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. Usually, well, what video was I doing? I can't even keep track of what the videos I was making. Well, I was doing a video, and you could hear the rain in the hell hitting the side of the house through my microphone. Let's see here. We still got about 5 more minutes before we can get to the nitty gritty.
Yep. Let people keep on rolling in. It's lunchtime.
Yeah, I gotta go down and get a cattle panel because Royal King has some cattle panels that got bent ends and stuff that I can get really cheap.
Oh.
And all I have to do is, bend. Oh, here it comes. I can hear the rain now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they got little bends and stuff in them, but I only need it for short pieces for my tomatoes and stuff. So I figure I'll go get one of those really cheap, and then I don't have to tie them up so much.
Right.
Because my tomatoes that haven't got eaten yet are probably almost 2 feet tall at least, and they're starting to flop over. And I haven't trimmed them or anything yet, so they need attention.
Well, you saw the size of mine. They ain't that big yet. There's this little sprout sticking out of the buckets.
Hey, Mary, how you doing? My
everybody
peppers are doing really good. Well, my jalapenos.
Yep.
I still my lettuce, and I usually do my lettuce inside the house, but I figured I went ahead and planted 2 heads. Well, not heads, but I guess they're called heads of lettuce. Butter crunch lettuce.
Ooh.
It doesn't really grow into a head, but it kind of grows into a kind of like a bush, I guess.
Okay.
And that went crazy, and I was afraid that the heat was going to make it bitter, because if lettuce gets too hot, it gets bitter.
It gets better, yes.
Yep. And it tastes really good. I kind of wish I had some homegrown tomatoes put on there, but I went and got tomatoes from the farmer's market out there.
Yep. Sorry about that, Mary.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I hate when your fur babies get sick.
Yeah, because they can't talk to tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, they can only just deal with it and you to figure it out,
Yeah, and you can tell it bothers them. I've got the cat in my lap right now, and Rugnut, he overate, and then when they overeat, cats, they just let it out, whatever's left over.
Yeah. Yep.
And he got sick and wasn't eating for a couple days, because every time he would eat, he would get that feeling, and it took him 3-4 days to snap out of it. And I just had to make sure he had plenty of water, and he was stuck up my butt like crazy.
Well, that's when you know that they don't feel good too, because they
Yeah,
cling to you. They get clingy. Yeah.
yeah. And usually cats have their own little spots on my bed.
Mhm.
And he took over the main spot, I guess you would call it, and didn't move from that spot. And yeah,
Yeah.
he finally got over it to where he's starting to eat again and everything. To get him going again. I gave him some tuna,
Mhm.
and that kept him going pretty good.
Yep. Just that little bit of mercury will help them out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And the proteins from the fish. Yep. Hey, Ginger Ninja, little lone prepper.
Oh, that's good. Once you see them start eating it, you start feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I get whenever used to get them boxes from that company, um, with the little cat toys and treats and stuff.
Oh,
So
yes.
many people would say, "Oh, that's a waste of money. Why are you gonna?" And I said, "If you had kids, you never bought them a toy or anything."
Right.
And I
It's the
said,
same thing.
um, "People's pets, not I'm not farm animals or farm dogs and stuff like that. Even those are you care about those, but like cats or dogs that are in your house and that you're around all the time, it's just like a family member. It's like a kid. If they
That
get
said her
if they
dog
get
too.
hurt or they get sick,
Yep.
you get sad.
You do. Pat said her dog's sick too. Someone broke her tail. She's eating her fur off. Oh, they do that for
Oh,
in the
yeah,
legs too. I, oh, that's bad.
yeah. I used to have a cat
Mm-hmm.
that he wasn't really my cat until I just started feeding him, and he would come around. He was just a wild cat, and
Yep.
I would actually be out working on the car or something. He would jump up on my back and just sit there as I'm working and stuff. And he finally pretty much made a home on my property. And uh, one day he came walking by and he didn't have a tail anymore. I'm like, what happened? And I still don't know. He just lost his tail.
Oh wow.
I put, I put peroxide on it and some
Mm-hmm.
uh, couple other things, and it healed up. And he just didn't have a tail. Okay, we made it past the 15-minute.
Woohoo.
One of the things I've been, keeping my eye on, and it's not that I'm worried about, catching the bird flu or anything, even
Mm-hmm.
though they've already said it's in cats and dogs right now, which I don't know how, but that's beside the point. But
Yep.
it, I'm not worried as as like people got worried about,
Mm-hmm.
the sickness in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more worried about as if what our government's doing.
Mm-hmm.
What are they creating or what are they trying to drum up? And um, when I did this talking about, and I think it was like the 8th or the 12th or something, when the guy in Michigan caught, and it was a farm worker,
Mm-hmm.
caught the bird flu, and it was the second person in the United States to catch a human
Right.
to catch a bird flu.
Yep.
Um, and there was so much, you know, information that wasn't released. It was like just bits and pieces was released of it.
Yeah,
And
leaves you guessing.
when he took the swab, the nasal swab, it came up negative. But when they swabbed his eye, it came up positive for bird flu.
That's
And that alone right there really, red flags came up over that, because when they do these nasal swabs, uh, there's an enzyme that is released when you get sick and whatnot, and it's
yep.
the easiest place to find out if you are sick is, up your nasals,
Mm-hmm.
because it's what you breathe in, and that's where it starts at.
Yep.
And the fact that it wasn't there, but it was in his eye.
That's very strange.
Yeah.
Very.
And then they talked about him having it, and then boom, nothing.
Nothing.
Um,
Yeah.
Now the other guy that had it in Texas, uh, he worked around cows and whatnot. So
Right.
he got it and was back to work in a week,
Mm-hmm. It's like any other
because
flu. Yeah.
it's the flu.
It's just the flu. Yeah.
If it comes from a bird or a cow or a pig,
Or a
well,
human.
the pig thing, eh, I think the pig, because they're not really the cleanest little fellas, but
Right.
I
Right.
think that's what makes the pig flu, what they call it something else, but
Swine flu.
yeah, the swine flu,
Yeah.
so much more dangerous than, a bird or something.
Because I think they carry both, don't they? The
Yeah,
pigs.
well,
Yeah,
right
they carry
now
both.
the bird flu is in cows, pigs, dogs,
Mm-hmm.
cats, deers, rabbits. It's all over the place. Um, and of course, it's in 2 humans in the United States,
Right.
or it was. But now, uh, let me find out where this is at real quick. Uh,
Yep, I agree with that too. When you swab, it breaks the blood brain barrier. Yeah.
yeah, and this has let me find it. Okay, this comes from the CDC. Um, the CDC recommends that everyone 6 months and older get the seasonal flu vaccine every year, especially if they may be exposed to sick birds. This can reduce the risk of getting sick with both human and bird flu viruses at the same time,
Yep.
though it won't prevent infection with the bird flu viruses. But
Dun dun dun. It makes no
now,
sense to get it then because.
yeah, this is coming from the CDC. This is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just making this stuff up. This is coming from the sources that are supposed to be there to protect us and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now we were talking about this earlier. What happens if everybody freaks out? Oh no, I'm going to get the bird flu. I'm
Yep.
going to go down and get my flu shot.
There goes all the toilet paper
Everybody
again.
in May gets their flu shots now.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in November when it's flu season?
Right.
And November this year is something important happening.
Dun dun dun.
All of a sudden, there's a
No,
thing
they won't.
happening.
Everybody won't. Don't want to go to the polls
Yeah.
or the pool. The pool.
Oh, you better not come here. You better get your thing in the mail. Do it in
Mm,
the mail
yeah.
that way. Yeah.
Here we go back with that, which a lot of states and towns and stuff like that have opposed against it.
Yep. And that's exactly what I think there's going to be coming up. because if everybody
Yeah.
gets one thing to cover this mysterious bird flu,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying there isn't a bird flu or anything, because
Right.
there's been bird flu before and we lived past it. Now that's the thing right there, is what happens toward the end of the year when important,
Mm-hmm.
thing happens.
Good way to keep you in the house,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
you got to get that fear going,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I'm not scared of no bird flu. I made it past the last time the bird flu was in the United States.
Yep.
The more thing I'm worried about, more than catching a cold or a flu, is when the government gets involved to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said in the premiere earlier today, they are already, this is already a thing. They're already setting it up. They've got millions of the juice and everything ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's already documented. This is from the government that's saying this. This is not, I'm making it up. It says US and European nations are already considering vaccinating workers deemed at risk for contacting the bird flu.
Yep. And yes, this is news, not medical
That's
advice. Yep.
that's in the other words, are saying, you remember when you either get this or you don't work for me no more.
Yeah.
Everybody's forgetting this already happened. It's not like it's woo, you're a conspiracy nut, it's already happened. It's nothing new. It's already, they've already done it to us.
Yep.
Well, those who took it. So is it far fetched that it's going to happen again?
Right. And it stinks that this year that they finally reversed. Well, I think it was last year they started reversing that for a lot of people, because I remember around here they were saying with the state police people that got fired because they didn't get it. Now they can have all their jobs back and everybody can go back to work. It's like
Yeah.
they've already been past that point and already moved along,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yep, that's why I said it. This is not news. I mean, this is what is going on? It's so noisy around here today. I thought I got away from all that.
At least
Here goes the crotch rocket.
I mean,
I have a lot of birds today. I've had the birds have been like really talking with each other.
Yeah, most of the people here has got, I can say it now and not get too much trouble. COVID.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer,
the CDC said COVID is a flu.
Yeah,
that's what it is,
and
that's what it was before. It's just a different strain that they weren't ready for.
Right.
Which happens.
Now, my thought is on how the cats and the dogs would get it. You know how when you take your dog out for a walk to go to the bathroom or something, they got their nose down to the ground, sniffing, and cats and dogs can get different worms from other dogs and stuff like that, worms and other sicknesses. That's probably how that's what my thought is on how they might be getting that, because they got the nose to the ground, or they're picking stuff up and eating it, or licking their feet and stuff, and where they've walked and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, even though they're not advertising any of my stuff or put my information out there or anything, they still put them ads on there.
Yep. Yep. They want you to pay for YouTube Premium Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Now I have a bee around me. The bees, they've been kind of mellow. They like buzz around you and zoom in, and then they leave you alone.
Well, I always, if
I don't get
it's
nervous.
all, bees pick up your vibe. I think it's
Yeah.
more
Well, they
if,
can tell when you're nervous because us humans put off a different
yeah,
pheromone for them to smell, and then that's when they aggravate you more to see what you're going to do to them. I just leave them alone. They're going to do what they're going to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I do believe this year going to be a bad one.
Uh-huh.
And that's the thing is, with, when we have really no winter,
Mm-hmm.
you can't, it doesn't kill off all that stuff.
Right.
And then it just, like the bugs, they get worse during times when there's no winter.
Were all put down because they were dead. Vultures found nearby that tested positive. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, and that's the thing. It could be they could test a whole flock and only one
Yep.
chicken or turkey has it. They get rid of the whole lot, and then they have to strip out, like if because chicken houses are just one big long building,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll strip out the whole bottom layer of the floor, and they'll spray down the whole place, and
Yeah.
cost thousands and thousands of dollars to
How you doing?
do this, and it's on the farmer to do it. It's not no government comes in there and says, "Oh, we'll take care of this for you." No, they give them paperwork and say, "You have to do this, you have to do that,"
Yep.
and dispose
Yep.
of the birds, and they have to be disposed of, certain way.
But they don't do that with us. If one of us, like if there was a group of us all together and one of us
Don't
had
give
the
them any
flu,
ideas.
one of us had the flu, they don't put all of us down, the rest of us down. They make us go quarantine or stay away from that one person.
Yeah,
You quarantine that one person or animal, and then you see who else gets sick.
yeah. I would love to see chickens running around.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. 5G. Dana B. Hey, lady. Yeah,
Oh,
put a little mask.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just like you said. If you go do one thing for the bird flu, then and then go again in November, and it's just going to make people either
yeah,
really sick from doing it or just
and that's the thing is
pointless.
this bird flu. They're saying this one that's here now is H5N1. There's another one, another bird flu that they're concerned about now is H7N9. I don't know where they came up with the number letter thing, but
It's the pie chart.
they um they're adding this one in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that might be another, booster situation that might be coming about.
Yep.
It's and I think the majority of it is they're already have millions and millions of vaccines for the cows now. So that's another vaccine that they're going to be giving cows. And guess what? Where does your milk come from?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm not a doctor or anything, but that's really concerning about, because they already get certain vaccines, and I'm not saying that they're all bad or anything. There
Yep.
are some that protect for different bugs that they get, but the thing is with those, some of the vaccines that they take uh, for like the pigs and the cows and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
those were tested over years and years before they were supplied for everybody. Um, these new ones are coming out in 2-3 months, and they're tested on ferrets and rats and mice.
Yep.
What's to say that in again these new ones that are um, the mRNA type ones,
Mm-hmm.
if you let me see if I can find it. And I talked about this, uh, the mRNA lipid nanoparticle vaccines. That's what that is. Nanoparticle
So,
vaccines is elicited from taking the T cell and manipulating it, creating a new T cell to replace that. Um, and I say it in a joke, but the T cell is what happened um, on Umbrella Corporation, Resident
mm-hmm.
Evil and all that stuff, where they
Yep.
made these weird zombies and creatures that would come after you.
Yep.
Um, that's how that started, when they started messing with the T
Mm-hmm.
cells,
The
and
T
that's where they
cells.
come out with the T virus.
Yep.
And it seems like it's the government is Umbrella Corporation.
Exactly. And it wasn't just, but they had other products too. They made it into other products. They made it into makeup and foods and all this and that
Yeah.
too. Yep.
Yep, you got that right. Anytime they
Yep.
need, oh, we don't need to go through CDC and all that stuff. Just pass it.
Yep.
Pass the bill for us.
We just read it briefly and we're just gonna pass it. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, Dana. Dana's like, that's creepy. Yeah, it is creepy. But
Yeah.
that's how, I mean, obviously, where did all these ideas come from? From people making these movies up.
And the fact that they're already saying uh there there's no death for the ferrets that they regenerated. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came back.
Yep.
That's scary right there. That the this creature or this animal that was infected with the H5N1
Mm-hmm.
died, and they brought it back with this juice.
Stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that that's Umbrella Corporation right there.
Sorry to make your brains work a little bit, but yeah.
Now, if it lived for, I don't know how long or what, I don't know. But that's the part that makes me wonder, when they bring out something like that and then just cut it off right there. There's
Yep.
no more information. It's like, wait a minute, I want to know more about this. What happened to it? Or, what do you mean there was no
Mhm.
death?
I mean, it even goes down to um, like simple movies, like even like video games. You got Fallout. People
Oh
were,
yeah,
with all the that stuff. People were. It happened in the what Fallout was 40s or 50s or something like that, and then you go
yeah,
100, 200, 300 years later. You got
Yeah.
people still alive in that from whatever, and how they had that guy that come out of the ground, the one that had his nose missing, he was hooked up to some kind of IVs that were going into him. What was that juice that was going into him to make him come back to life,
Yeah, I agree with that one right there. They
Yeah.
need to
Yep.
stop trying to play God.
Yep. It's not a good idea. Not at all. Because, I mean, it goes down to even people that hunt.
Yeah. Did you hear about the head transplanting?
Oh, no.
Taking, and sewing it on a new body.
No. I've
They're
heard of
saying it's going to be a possibility here.
Oh, my.
And there's one story I want to get into, but I'm kind of afraid to
Mm-hmm.
because I got in trouble from it before. The Muskie guy.
Yep.
He owns X, which I'm on X right now. Oh, there's nobody over there.
Mm-hmm.
But his neuro thingy, that's the company. It's China has picked it up, and they're way past where he supposedly is,
Mm-hmm.
and they have somebody that's now. I don't want to offend anybody, but I can't remember what it's called when somebody's paralyzed below the neck.
Paraplegic
I don't know.
or quad I forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's really called, but um where he can't use his hands or his feet or anything, so
Mm-hmm.
he can move his head, but he's had one of these. It's not a chip, it's an actual computer that's embedded into his brain. It's the size of like a 50-cent piece,
Oh, wow.
and this is in China, and whatever he thinks, it comes up on the screen.
My goodness.
Like, say he wants to go search for um, how to make chocolate chip cookies or something.
You can just search it.
You see it typing out on the search bar,
Oh,
and
my.
then boom, it pops up, and then you can see his mouse moving around, and it's not activated by his eyes, because everybody thought it was the eyes
That
um,
did it.
that moved the cursor. He says, no, I can close my eyes and imagine where the cross or the cursor is and click things from that.
Yeah, quadriplegic. Okay, quadriplegic.
Uh,
I was starting to say if I didn't know if I was saying it wrong, so I didn't say it. Yeah, that's what Watt and Jennifer said. Yep.
yeah,
That's creepy. That is completely creepy on how they did that. No, thank
yeah,
you.
and they're not releasing a lot of it. They're only releasing, the little tidbit parts, and um, like if he wants to call somebody, he thinks. Now, I don't know if there's a way you could turn this off or put a snooze on it or something. I can just imagine going to sleep and thinking about, oh man, I would really like to have a hamburger right now.
Right?
You get somebody gonna knock on the door and wake you up, and oh,
Ding
it's
dong,
your
DoorDash.
delivery for your hamburger.
I just ordered DoorDash in my head. That's crazy.
Or you're having a dream about your girlfriend or something, and then
Mm,
um you call her up on the phone and start talking to her or texting or whatever in the middle of your dream or something.
that's
You
some
can get
intense
in some trouble.
Yep.
So I was wondering, is there any way to if there should be a way to shut that off or put sleep mode or
Or to
something,
only allow certain things at certain times to come out. Yeah.
because it's all thought process. So if you
Hmm.
think it happens, um like if you said, well, I need to call so and so, you don't say it. It just, you once you think it,
It just
ring,
doesn't.
ring. The phone in your brain is going off, and you start talking, and you're talking to the person, even though nobody can hear
Mm-hmm.
because it's in your
It's
coming
in your
through
head.
that computer in your head.
Yep.
I remember when the little push button thingies on the earbuds
Yep.
first started coming about, and you would walk through the store, and there was somebody just talking like crazy, and
I
you're like,
that.
are they nuts? They're talking to themselves or something, and then you realize that there's an earbud there. They're talking to somebody on the phone.
I don't like that because it makes you wonder if they actually are crazy or not, and should you walk by them or go near them?
Yeah,
There you go. There goes that old saying. You're hearing the voices in your head. Yep. Boop. There you go. It's all in your head.
yeah. You remember when cell phones really started getting popular, and people would talk on
Yep.
their phones, and then if you look at them, they go like, "So
Yeah.
stop eavesdropping on me," or um, and now it's like
They don't
the
care.
only thing, if they don't have earphone or earbuds on, they have their phone out here like this, and they're screaming to the person, and the
Yeah.
volume is way up, so everybody hears the conversation.
Even if you dial somebody in your car, those car phones, all you have to do is sit and listen to them. You remember where I was before in the city? Half the people there would be you'd hear the phone ringing, and I'm like, who's calling? Who? What? And I'm in my home, but it's right outside my door because the whole car makes it so loud because it's going through the car speakers.
Yeah,
So you can hear the phone ringing and what they're talking about. It's just like, really, do you know that that's really not that private, people? Hello,
yeah,
I'm
and
really.
it goes through their car stereo sometimes, so you can hear it down the
Mm-hmm.
road.
Yep. But it's just like, people are like, oh, that's an invasion of my privacy. We'll turn down your volume and I won't be able to hear what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Ed McMahon.
Yeah, that's what gets me about the whole TikTok thing. Everybody was like, "Oh, TikTok, they're sending all information to China." I'm like, "Do you realize that they've been doing this for years
Weird.
already?"
Look at
It's
all
it's
the
not TikTok, it's Google, it's Facebook,
your
all that stuff.
appliances.
They If you look in your phone, in your data area,
Mm-hmm.
each app has a file on you
Yep.
about all your preferences, what you search for, what sites that you look at, all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, and they sell that to
Third
advertisers and
parties.
stuff,
The third parties. Yep.
and that's been going on, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden TikTok's bad because it's a Chinese company.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with that. They still sell all that information. Everything you do, even the TVs now, they have cameras in them.
Yep.
Why do they need a camera for a television?
Yeah.
They have microphones
Yep.
built into the television.
Yep.
Why? There's no section on your remote that says, you know, uh, I want to do a live stream or something from my TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's so they can watch what you're doing.
Yep.
They can track your eye movement of what you're looking at on the screen. So if
Yes.
you see, oh, those are nice shoes, not say it, but look it on the TV,
Yep.
then all of a sudden, guess what? You get ads for these weird shoes.
Yep. Right, Pat. Yeah, no, I was saying your appliances too. Your appliances, you talk to your
Yeah,
appliances too nowadays. But they've been doing that with anything that's electronical,
yeah, you're
you know,
right.
anything. Yeah.
You realize how many people in the United States make money from TikTok?
Yep.
It's in the billions.
Billions.
Yes.
A lot of people
And
have their businesses connect to it. Yep.
like for the TikTok company in Texas, there's over 300,000 Americans, people who actually
Work
are legal,
that
work
work.
for TikTok.
Yep.
And they're all, all this talk about, bring companies in and whatnot. But they want to get rid of companies because they don't follow suit with what they're talking about. And the thing is, who got that started with making sure that TikTok was based in the United States? He was president last time.
The orange guy.
Yep.
As they call him. That orange man.
And at that time, I didn't agree with what Trump was doing with the TikTok situation, but I didn't know all the details in behind it. But when he made it to where they had to set up company here in the United States, and employ a certain amount of people. I mean, it's not that it was TikTok. It was because he brought in a company that was somewhere else, not even in China. To where he set up to where jobs were made in the United States, and that's the part I liked about it.
Right. I don't want, like, people don't even need friends anymore. They could just talk to their smart refrigerator. Hey, I got a smart grill and it ain't cooking right for me. What do I do now? And I don't think it's smart enough.
I got not this one, but the last microwave. And it's sad that microwaves only last a couple years now. But my other one was Alexa could connect to it, which I have no idea why you would want Alexa to run your microwave, but
that makes no sense.
I never did use the feature. It's like you still have to get up and put the food in the microwave. So why are you not pushing the buttons while you're there?
Exactly. How much more lazier can we be?
And I never understood why was the purpose of this. And I could see, like, Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes or something like that.
Right.
But the fact is, well, Alexa, turn my microwave on high for 10 minutes. I'm already there putting the food in the microwave. I can't push the buttons.
Right. You're still going to get up and put the food in before you even set it to go. So why not just push the button?
Yeah. And they have the refrigerators now, and they have the stoves, the microwaves. They probably have a coffee pot too.
I think they do.
Which we've always had a coffee pot that you could set the timer for, like, they pop up on or start brewing at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But other than that, why would you need to talk to your coffee pot to tell it to start brewing?
Right.
Because you unless there's like a big container that loads all the coffee for a whole month or something,
and you got the water to it too.
Alexa, make me a pot of coffee, or that's the only thing I can think of, because you still have to go up there and put the coffee in, and you have to put the water in.
Yep.
So why not hit the switch that turns it on?
Or even take a couple minutes just to set that timer.
Yeah.
It only takes 2 seconds to do it. You know what? And if you don't know how to do it, they always come with manuals. There's a reason why they read the instructions, please.
Do they actually have washers and dryers too?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
I don't understand that part of it. Is you have to put your clothes in it.
So you're physically right there at the machine. So just hit
Yeah,
the button. Or if it's got like a delay set. See the wash, you know how I just got that little Rolly dishwasher? It's
yeah,
got a delay time set. You have to physically set a delay time. Like you could load it up, but then you can and hook it all up, but then you can put it at a time when you want it to run. Like say
yeah.
if you
15
wanted to do
minutes.
it in the middle of the night and you loaded it up before you went to bed and it would run for you.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
one thing. But
that's understandable, but
right.
you still have to be there.
But see, you would still have to, yeah, like, yeah, you still have to be there. You still have to set that timer to go off at a certain the delay time. Yep.
Yeah, I don't get that part of it. Like the oven. Um, somebody there was a commercial. I think it. I don't know if it was a real commercial or not, but
hmm
um, the lady's coming home and she's telling Google or whoever the AI thing is to to start the oven,
Yep.
and I'm like, wait a minute, where's the food at? Did the food just appear in the oven? Did the refrigerant walk over and put it into the oven? I don't know. I mean, it all sounds real fancy and nice, like the Jetsons or Star Trek, where you say, "Well, fix me a latte" or something, and it goes ding, and you go over and it's a fresh latte. We're not at that point yet, so why are we getting all these
hmm
things to where you're taking out the step of pushing a few buttons?
And putting things into things before
Yeah,
you push them buttons or set that timer or tell Alexa to do whatever. You still have to physically be doing stuff. Now, if you remember correctly, I think if I can remember correctly, with the Jetsons, yes, they would tell the oven to turn on and cook a food, but weren't they capsules? Some things were in capsules.
yeah,
They would automatically they would put something the
the
Rosie the
hydrate them.
robot. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, Rosie the robot would get it all done, but it was actually the robot was putting something into something else, and then she would communicate with the oven or whatever.
yeah. That's the thing is, um, cooking.
Yeah,
Who does it nowadays?
I
You
do.
know,
We all do. That's here. It. I can see where they're kind of coming from. The convenience of it. It's like when
yeah.
the remote control came out for your television. I remember my grandfather saying, "What's wrong with getting up and walking to the television and turn the knob? Why do we need these damn things?"
Well,
You know,
he didn't have to do it. It was
right?
the grandkids that had to go over and turn the channel.
Yeah, yeah. That was the joke in my house. So we had the kids to do the dishes and to turn up the television for little things, little jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in my thought process in it is, it has nothing to do with, oh, I'm a fancy person. I got Alexa to turn my microwave on for me. It's the fact that they are pre-programming us for the future.
Grooming. Can we say grooming? That's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah,
Because
Mary. I don't like the new
the more
thermos.
we get used to, 2020, everybody had to stay home,
Yeah.
uh, and we got deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
And now that oh, it's safe. It was just a flu. We can go out and do things now. People are still doing that.
Yep. Because they got hooked on it.
They have people.
Hey, Jeff.
Uh, and instead of hiring people for stocking shelves and things,
Mm-hmm.
they have people that shop. That's all they do. They go through
Yep.
and shop.
Yep. Either to get
And
their order ready to be picked up at the door or to be delivered to them. One of the
yep,
yeah.
that's the majority of who's being hired now.
Yep.
And if you go to Walmart, you see them. I mean,
Yep.
uh,
They do it at the the bulk stores that I go to too. They do that there too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Audi's even has it now.
Mm-hmm.
Big Lots has it. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Bueller's has it too here.
Yep.
And I'm sure this is a small town, and all
Mm-hmm.
those places have the pickup thing.
Yep.
And there are the delivery ones.
I think it's just bad enough that we had drive-throughs. But that still, you were still physically going to the drive-through to go get
Yeah.
your stuff. But that's more of a fast food thing. But still, it's like, what's wrong with getting up out of your vehicle? You made the effort to go that way. Why not go
Yeah.
in? You
Yeah.
know, it's one thing. I mean, yeah, it is somewhat convenient for people that have a million kids that take care of their kids at home. But take the kids out for a ride. Go
Oh,
get
that
your
was
food.
actually thunder. I didn't know we were supposed to get thunderstorms.
Ooh.
It's
Well, aren't you
really
guys?
cold to be getting thunderstorms.
Well, I was gonna say, isn't in close to you, like north of you, gonna be getting cold? So maybe it's that cold and warm combatant.
Well, it's cold all over right now
Oh,
in Ohio.
oh. So there you go. Is the temperature dropping down a bit? Probably.
Oh yeah, we're actually getting thunder or lightning right now.
Ooh. I'm glad your Wi-Fi is holding up too.
Well, they fixed that pole. It's down the road here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, the seniors and disabled. That would help. That does help. Their, that
What
helps
happened
them.
in Ohio yesterday? Um, I don't know. Is there something supposed to happen in Ohio?
What happened in Ohio yesterday? I don't know.
Um, they were. I know they were. They were talking about. Oh, that was somebody struck a tree yesterday. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to go read that later. 10 things that are offensive to
Youngs,
Ohioans.
Youngstown, Ohio. They had explosion that hurt several people, and one is deceased.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear
Oh wow.
that. There's always something on fire or blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's that's been a normal thing. It's probably a food place too.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 63 right now. And yep, my thing just popped up, said thunderstorms are coming.
After you heard it, your Alexa wasn't keeping up.
Yeah, I thought that was, because I've got one of the Lexus things, but it doesn't. It sits there, and
Mm-hmm.
I I know how to control what information goes out of it
Yep.
because um, I can shut off ports on my routers to where when it tries to send information out,
It
it
blocks them.
can't. It
Yeah.
blocks it. Um,
Yeah.
but
A
a
little
lot of
bit.
people they don't know how to do that, and it's in your router settings. You can look up the ports on if you go and look up ports that Alexa uses, you'll see all the information it sends out, be it to advertisers or whatever. All you got
Mm-hmm.
to do is put in there to block this port in your routers,
Yep.
and then that information doesn't get out.
Yes.
But I thought, whoa, it'd be cool, tell it to what's my weather, or is it gonna frost this week? um, and I look at it. I'll ask it some weird questions like, um,
Oh yes, you have a
that
couple of shorts like that.
bit with what happened to Biden when he fell off his bike, and it says
Biden's
Biden
dead.
died on so and so at this place, and I'm like, what?
I remember that one.
Yeah,
I should have
and
came up with
then
my
I
news.
recorded it. I recorded it and
Yep.
made a short of it,
Yep.
and then right after it changed. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays you can actually pre-program uh, Alexa and tell it and um, make your own
Memes and
answers to
stuff.
your questions.
Yeah.
So it's not interesting anymore.
Yeah, all the
Is,
restaurants.
is it a bad actor, or is he really a good actor?
Yeah, I was reading up panels. It said that a lot of I've noticed that too. A lot of the restaurants that have been around for about 100 years or so, they're closing down too. It's because of all the convenience that they're having.
You got timed out for saying that?
Yeah, I saw that. Dude, that was funny.
Huh.
Driving snow.
Yeah, I clicked on it once and seen that he had like 114,000 people watching the weather. And I'm like, dang, maybe I ought to be a weatherman all of a sudden.
Right. The world is a stage. Yep.
100 and some thousand, and people are just ding, 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 money, money. And I'm
I
like,
know.
it's the weather.
It's the weather.
I know it's important, like if a tornado's coming and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
if you watch the weather and a tornado's coming and goes through and tears up that city that you're in,
Yep.
guess what? That tornado is still going to come through and tear up that city, even if you watch the weather or not.
Right. I mean, you wasted your time watching Ryan
Yeah,
over
I
there.
understand you
Yeah.
want to hurry up and get in your shelter, but um, most of the time, if you didn't, unless it's those crazy ones that come through and the 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning type
Mm-hmm.
deal. But if it's daytime and you already know that it's getting bad, hurry up and get in your shelter.
Yep.
And then thunder just went off as I said that.
Boom.
Hey, Eric.
Err. Yep. Today is, from my weather, is 74, mostly cloudy. Feels like 74, so we're even today. That's our high of 74 today. Yesterday was hot.
Yeah, it's actually been feeling nice. The air conditioner's off and
Mm-hmm.
it's nice and quiet. I actually can hear the thunder coming around the corner.
You're like, oh, there is thunder. I hear it now.
As long as it's off in the distance, I'm not too worried about it. But if it starts
Yeah.
hitting, then I have to shut things down because I don't want
Things.
no surges coming through.
Yep. Yep. Smart products are for dumb people. Yes, they are. It's mostly.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was saying it's all pre-programming
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, with the food and everything,
Yep.
I was talking to this lady, um, and you know, conversation was going a certain way, and so I was asking questions and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to get a feel what kind of lady she was and whatnot. And I was asking, you know, what would she have for dinner and this and that. She said, well, I ordered from so and so and they delivered to my door. Okay. When's the last time you cooked a good meal?
Right. I know. I keep on seeing all these ads for there's
There was silence.
yeah, dead silence.
I'm like, if you ask me that same question, oh, last night I cooked chicken parmesan.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard silence, that's well, ding, red flag pops up. I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep going with this conversation. Because
Hey, CJ.
And that's what the scary part. I would think this would happen to younger folks, but she was 38 years old. Well, she still is, but
Yeah.
38. I thought, well, you know, she has to know how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's a major thing to have on a list, but that it says a lot.
Yeah, it does.
If somebody knows how to cook or not, or if somebody is ordering all their food in. For me, I don't have the money to order food every day.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
yeah. No.
not even once a month, but I may have to drive to the store and get certain things to make a certain meal or something.
Right. But like you see all these ads for all right, not HelloFresh. When you get HelloFresh, you get the supplies to cook the meal. But then you see these other companies that have it so that way the meal's already pre-made and
The
you put it
TV
in this
dinner.
little oven and then it scans the card and then it cooks your food because it scans the QR code on this card and it tells the oven what's in the oven and how to cook it. It's like, really? Well, I've got the best, fresh, healthiest meals. Do you know what they're putting in your mashed potato or the meatloaf that you're cooking in this oven that's
Yeah,
telling you how to cook? You don't.
basic
Granted,
life skills. Yeah,
yeah, they don't. They've taken all that away for basic
yeah.
life.
It's not that I have anything against somebody that doesn't know how to cook. Some people, you know, that they've had somebody that knew how to cook for them
Yeah.
or whatnot. But the fact that, you know, when I asked when was the last time that you cooked something,
Mm-hmm. Physically, like got up and
and
made the meal.
yeah,
Not
and
got up and
I
made.
didn't put it in a bad way or anything, and I was
Right.
because it was just a curious question, um, and it was just silence. When you're trying to think of when was the last time that you used your stove.
Right. Yeah, but
That
that's the thing. They've made it. Yeah, it may be more convenient for like elderlies or disabled people
yeah,
it does benefit for them, absolutely. Or if
yeah,
but if to get, even though they're saying whatever's going in our foods nowadays, but you're still making your food. You get the piece of chicken and you bread it and you put it in the oven yourself to make it, and you make the potatoes on your own. Not getting it
yeah,
all store bought. I mean, convenience
and
once in a while, yeah, but I see it more or less to help the elderly or the disabled that can't physically do certain things. That does help them, yes, but
yeah, me and Jeff talk about that all the time about um when the videos cooking videos now
mm-hmm.
you see a crock pot, or which I use a crock pot when
Right,
I
right.
cook stuff, but they'll say we're doing a homemade meal, and all you see is a bunch of products from Walmart, the
Mm-hmm.
whatever their brand name is, but they open this bag and they pour it in here, and they open a pre-made, already cooked chicken
Yep.
into the pot, and then they open cans up, and for one thing, it irritates me when they don't drain the
The
juice out of
juices.
there
Oh
anyway.
yeah.
But they start dumping all this in there, and then they turn it on, and they come back and they stir it, and I'm like, that's not cooking. That's just adding a bunch of junk together. Yeah, great value. That's it.
Yep, great value. Oh yeah, by the way, that's what I do. I always, if I like, you have canned food in your home. If you get a can of corn or green beans or whatever, please rinse it off. You can just put it in a strainer and just rinse it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's got it takes that tangy taste, that metal taste out for one, but two, you're rinsing off the extra stuff that granted, it's already absorbed into the foods that's in the can, but you're rinsing most of it off anyway, and it's just.
Yeah, that. Well, see, like a pancake mix.
Yeah.
There are some pancake mixes. I mean, it's fine if you're in a hurry, just mix water.
Yeah, or if you're doing it for
how
a big
many
crowd,
people actually use flour and baking
baking soda,
soda and
an egg.
vanilla and make their own pancake?
Yep.
Well, this morning I just had ham and cheese omelet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a real simple thing, but you'll get people that will grab something out of the freezer and put it in the microwave.
Oh, don't forget to tell the microwave to turn it on. And, Jeff wants to know if it's too late for him to come up.
No, you can. I'll probably be up for probably a half an hour or so more.
We'll say a half an hour, but it'll be like 5 hours later.
Yeah, the main thing is I wanted to get, because I made the premiere this morning. I made that Monday. I think it was Monday.
Wow.
Is it Monday or Tuesday? I can't keep track of it.
Today's Wednesday.
I don't know if I laid down, but I don't know if I went to sleep last night. Because I was up at 4 o'clock recording a video for Saturday.
Hold on, I'll mute because the choo-choo's coming. I did say I have a train around me. And that's another thing too, what Tia Two said. So you're not cooking, you're dumping food and warming it up. Yes, that's how a crock pot is. But a crock pot is meant to be low and slow. It's like a Dutch oven.
Yeah.
So what they used to do from back in the day, you can actually make bread in it. You can make a cake in it. You can cook a whole chicken in it. I mean, T knows because he cooks and everything. But it's just like you don't just use the crock pot just to dump a bunch of crap in it and call it a day.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you can actually.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't use a can of corn or whatever, but
the
fact that they said this is a homemade meal and everything, and I said no, you just put a bunch of ingredients together.
Yep.
Or a bunch of already pre-made stuff together.
What they were doing was all pre-made stuff. Exactly. Yeah. You weren't taking
what's wrong with you starting with chicken breast and you marinate it or whatever, and you put it in there, and then you add actual vegetables.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get them from your garden. Now one of the worst places I would say to get vegetables from is Walmart, because I'm trying to remember when was the last time I actually got a vegetable from Walmart.
Since we moved here, I haven't used I don't use a microwave. If you want something reheated, you either put it in a frying pan on the top stove, or you put it in a casserole dish and put a cover on it and put it in the oven and warm it up.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh, shit. Wait a minute.
All right. Hey. Hi.
Wait a minute. Okay. Good evening, folks.
It's afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'm sorry. I just woke up.
No, you're good. Just to remind you, we are live. No.
Oh
Hang
yeah,
on,
that's.
I
I
got
was going to ask
something
you
down
what
in the background.
how
I
your
got
mother
turned.
was doing. I forgot to ask you Monday.
Who?
Yeah, what life is his mother?
Oh,
Yep, Wally World is the mom of the soul. Yeah.
okay. I can hear and y'all can hear. I had to turn that woman's mouth a little.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
No.
I mean, uh, I've seen people actually make chili, and
Yep.
they open the big cans of chili and
No, that's
pour it in the pot and say, well, I'm making homemade chili. Like, no,
That ain't chili.
that's not
you
chili.
start with your beans. You cook your beans. That's the way I do it.
Y'all hear it?
I don't even use canned kidney beans. I start with pinto beans.
Y'all hear that?
And
Beans in your chili, please.
yeah,
Beans.
I cook that, and then uh, do the hamburger, and then make my own. I guess you would call it roux with the tomato sauce,
Yep.
and combine it all together with spices and whatnot. That's how you cook chili.
And that you could actually put in the crock pot, yes, and do low and slow and let it go
Yeah,
overnight.
yeah,
Basically, overnight's the best ones. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'll mute in case any crowds of dogs go by or anything.
Which that's it. Okay, let me ask
Fire
Jeff
God.
this: how do you make cornbread, Jeff?
Oh, really?
No, I'm serious.
Well,
Do you go get that box of
okay.
what is it, Jiffy box or whatever it's called?
Dude, I would smack somebody if they opened up a box of that and said, "Here, I make cornbread." Now, you get about what is the half cup cornmeal, a cup of flour, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, about a half gallon of buttermilk. You put your cast iron pan in the oven. Let it get to where it's hot, and then you pour all your ingredients in there.
Yeah.
Cornbread. Okay, that Jiffy box. I can't talk bad. Okay, I used to like, but after I found a recipe for homemade cornbread, I won't buy that stuff no more. It's way too sweet, for one thing.
Oh yeah,
It's not
and
cornbread.
the thing is with the Jiffy stuff, because it's basically all those ingredients except for the milk and eggs. But
Yep.
um,
Yeah,
the problem with that is the cornmeal that's in the Jiffies. You don't know how old that is
Mm-hmm.
that's
because
true.
they've already had issues in the past from their bread or the cornmeal being moldy because it's set
Yeah,
so long in the
Yep.
boxes. The cornmeal that you actually buy in the bag is years fresher than the Jiffy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That alone should tell you to get the cornmeal. And just like flour, you can get the what is it, self-rising in
Yes.
yeah.
cornmeal too, so you don't
Yep.
have to add more stuff. And it's basically
Well, they got
it's a lot
self-rising
fresher,
cornmeal.
and
Well,
it's ground better.
you take the self-rising
No,
flour, mix it with the cornmeal, and then you got that cuts
Yeah,
down. Convenient time, yep, of the baking soda,
I didn't
baking
know
powder.
they had self-rising cornmeal.
yeah, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes, and that there's that whole talk about um, flour will last forever, but there's different types of
No.
flour.
Yeah.
There's bread flour. There's, you know, you can go down the list. And if you have the self-rising flour, it won't last as long as just regular flour because it has that additive to where it's the self-rising, and that won't last as long as regular flour.
Some things aren't meant to be together until it's ready to make it.
Yeah. And it's
Basically.
like baking soda,
Mhm.
cornstarch, all that doesn't have a very long shelf life.
Right. So you're mixing it with the other stuff
Well,
that
I'm
has a long
thinking-
shelf life, but then it makes it bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm thinking self-rising flour. If you store it up, you can only store it for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Now, it's not going to be bad. The only thing is, it's not going to rise.
It's
so
not gonna rise.
You have to add, you know, your stuff with it.
You're not going. You won't be able to make good biscuits with it. Okay.
Yeah. They'd be almost like pancakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically like pancakes. Yeah.
Now that's something else right there. I'm going to use this. You make sausage gravy and biscuits. You know, you give me a homemade biscuit and sausage gravy. That's excellent. But you give me a canned biscuit with
you can tell the
sausage
difference.
gravy. Oh Lord, can you?
Yeah.
My daddy used to tell me the same thing, and I thought, man, you crazy. No, look.
There you go.
Old people are not as crazy as we claim them to be.
Hey, stop tossing my name around so much. No.
Yeah, and then I love how she puts the recipe.
Look, it's
hot buttered cast iron skillet. You have to have that in the recipe.
But look, all the ingredients right there. It's like I don't know, that people that can't just put those simple ingredients together.
Got to be talking about Megan.
Yeah, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, that's what a recipe's for. Read the instructions on how to make things, and you'll be surprised. It takes less than probably 5 minutes to even whip it together.
Yeah, and nowadays you have YouTube. So many good people out there that show you step by step how to do this stuff.
Everything down to authentic, like generations hand-me-down recipes. If they could do it within 5 minutes and get their families all fed and all this and that, it shouldn't take you that long. It just, I mean, yeah, some people it takes a little bit to catch on, but practice makes perfect, basically. You just keep on practicing. If it don't come all right this first time, oh well, either eat it or throw it away and then redo it over again.
And like Jeff's mentioned before, when making your own gravy, the first time it's not going to turn out good.
Oh no, the first 20 or 30 times, you know, it's going to be different. But it will come a time when everything starts coming together perfect. Yeah, I said perfect. And y'all going to be tickled to death. You know, y'all going to be proud
how
of that.
often, Jeff, do you, when you're just making just a gravy, do you go and say, well, it needs to be you get your cup of flour or whatever and you scrape the top off, it has to be perfect, or do you just toss it in there?
Dude, it's done got to the point myself, I don't hardly measure nothing no more. I just toss it in because I have done cooked it so many times and so long. I just about know how much of what it takes just by looking at it.
Yeah, we always have to end it with food.
Yes.
Yeah, eyeball it.
There is a recipe I come up on, and I seriously want to try it. like it's sweet potato cobbler.
Oh,
That's what
that
it
sounds
is.
Mm-hmm.
good.
That does sound real
Dude,
good.
but hey, go to YouTube and pull it up. It looks excellent. It really does. And there's a guy that me and the wife watch come sit at my table. He's got it on there. And me and the wife, we've tried many of his recipes.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. He really is. And he is particular.
That's like when I had wanted to make apple butter. I said, I wonder if there's a such thing as cranberry apple butter. And I went to YouTube and there was like
Yep.
tons of recipes. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this.
You'd be surprised. Cranberries are used in a lot of things.
I'm trying to figure out what YouTube does not have a video on.
Right?
Well, let me know when you find that out.
Yep.
Because it'd probably be a doozy.
I'm talking about legal and in reason.
Legal.
But
yeah, that's, I mean, going back to the topic of what we started with, it's just, it all comes down to just do whatever everybody has always done in the past. When you're going to go get sick or something, they need to stop doing all this crap. And it does lead down to the food, you know?
yeah.
I've seen your feet on video.
Have you? Wow.
Yeah, you can't say that because when you zoom down to check out your corn,
Oh, he
Like,
does.
you see
know.
your feet.
look, like Jeff, the ones that get taken down, that's the ones you don't see.
Well, you know, there's a saying going around amongst our age group. Nobody cooked like Granny cooked, and
No.
that's the honest to God truth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, my grandson told us, well, it ain't been too long ago, we had some of the best eating food that he's tasted. Mom and dad, his mom and daddy don't cook that good. Hey, I taught his mama how to cook. My wife taught his mama how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
His daddy can outcook me, to be truthful about it. Them two right there can do some cooking. My son can do some cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I've taught. Well, it started out like what it is now. If the power goes out
Hey, Grace.
and you want something to eat, what would you want? They told me, and I showed them how to cook it. That's how all this started.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm talking many, many moons ago. And now they have progressed on up. And they can, matter of fact, they can run their own restaurant if they wanted to.
Well, see, that's the thing. Well, like you see, you go back to our time when we were growing up.
There wasn't many restaurants.
That's how you learned how to cook. You watched your, like,
Ferrets
my grandpa. I used to watch him making them big pancakes.
Oh God.
I seen everything that he put in it. It wasn't no pancake mix that you just mix water. It
Right.
was flour, all that stuff. He had his own vanilla that he made.
Yep.
The whole 9 yards. He would put, and he would use lard. He would put lard in the pan, and the pan being a cast iron pan. pour that big. The pancake filled the whole 10-inch. It was more like a 12-inch skillet.
Yep.
And it would cook for a good while, and he would stick his wooden spatula, because he made his own utensils, and he'd flip that thing over, and that thing was that thick. And he would make two per person, and that was your breakfast
and lunch.
Most of the time it was lunch. It was very seldom that we actually had a lunch, unless we were out working in the woods or something and happened to come across a squirrel or a fish or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then he would sit there and make a fire and cook it right then and there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now down here, it's been quite a few years ago. We went out to a restaurant. I wanted pancakes. The waitress said, "How many you want?" I said, "Let me have 2 of them." And she looked at me. She said, "Okay." She said, "Is that all?" I told her, I said, "I want some sausage and toast." She put her order book down. She said, "You ain't never ate no pancakes from here, have you?" I said, "No, I'm not."
They're the size of your face.
She said, "They pretty good size." I said, "Good." And she brought them out. The plates are regular plates. These cut picking pancakes hung over about 1 inch all the way around. I looked at that, and I looked at her, and I said, "I'll never order 2 again. From here on out, I'll probably order a half a pancake from here." And come to find out, around here, that's how they cook pancakes.
Big ones like that? Yeah. You have to call them silver. Remember what they call them for kid size? $silver size? You have to tell them. Yeah.
I never understood that little silver dollar thing. I'm like, when I was a kid, we had pancakes. Well, some call them flapjacks too.
Yeah. Those hot stacks.
You getting really old school when you hear somebody say, "I want some flapjacks."
Yep.
But now the city I come from, you go into a restaurant and order pancakes. That's what you got was silver dollar size.
Yeah.
I don't understand them little bitty things. I mean, that's how I make them now, but because I don't want to eat all that bread.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff. Grace, for your kids, that's how it was back then. You know, the kids got the silver dollar size, and they weren't silver dollars. They were more.
You make little animals with the
matter.
Yep.
Now me, I put pineapple in my pancakes.
Ooh,
I love that. You know, well, you can put any type of fruit in it, but I prefer
blueberries, strawberries.
Yeah. Suburban got it right. Suburban Hillbilly must have been a cook or something. An order is 3. A short stack is supposed to be 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Because that's a whole order for 3 of them.
It is.
Size of the skillet. Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, around here where I'm at now, you go in and get 2 pancakes, you can probably feed a family of 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same way with, South and North have different variation of potatoes. Breakfast. There's hash browns and there's home fries.
Yeah.
They don't believe in hash browns in here. It's home fries.
Well, they do over here.
Yeah, and the difference in biscuits and gravy, because you can get biscuits and gravy up here, but it's not the same. For one thing, it's the biscuits are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be you go in and get biscuits and gravy, and it come in a little plate like this, and they would put a little dish of gravy. Down south, you get a big plate, and they pour the gravy over top of all the biscuits.
Yeah, and you need a couple
Yep.
more biscuits to slop the extra gravy up with.
Yeah.
Yep. Can I get an order of biscuits and gravy and a side of biscuits for the extra gravy?
Yeah. And there,
Well,
like I
now,
said, there's
we
a
want-
difference in the biscuits. Because up here, it seems like somebody set on the biscuits before they bring them out to you.
Yeah, the Waffle House that I go
I
to,
like mine.
they
I like mine kind of round and high.
Yep. They have 3 different kind of potatoes you can have with your breakfast. They have the hash browns, the shredded. Well, the hash
Yeah.
browns for them, they make them into little waffles. So they're like little deep fried hash brown waffles, which is kind of cool. Or you can get regular potatoes with onions and peppers, and But
Wait a minute.
shredded-
Oh yeah.
People cook
Chicken
hash
gravy
browns
waffles?
without onions in it? That ain't hash browns.
No. It's just regular potatoes. There's three different styles you can get at this one restaurant we have. It's hash browns. They call it shredded, which is
yeah.
the shredded potato.
Right.
Which is
Yeah.
like hash, which some people call it hash. And then just regular, they actually do. They call them home fries for just the regular potatoes that are they're cut like parboiled and thrown on the griddle. They're cut up into quarters or whatever, but you can get it. Yeah, you can get it with peppers, onions, or
Yeah.
plain. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
bushcraft.
I like peppers and onions
Mm-hmm.
and bacon with my
Yep.
taters. Fried
Do you
taters.
know that French fry maker I got from Temu a little while back ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
The second time I used it, it broke.
Oh, they will. Yeah, everything pretty much.
So now I'm going to have to order me a restaurant style.
Oh, one of the
Yeah.
fully lever down. Yeah.
Oh, those are good.
But I mean, when me and the wife met up, she made her own French fries. And I looked at her and I said, how in the Sam heck do you do that? And she showed me,
Yep.
And I mean, I don't know what it is. It seemed like since we moved down here, and yeah, we've been here for about 10 years, we cook our own foods. We very seldom go out to a restaurant. By God, the streets here close up or roll up at 2:00. Period. Restaurants close at 2. Now I'm not talking about Hardee's. Well, we ain't got a Hardee's.
In the afternoon?
Those are not restaurants.
No, I
No,
mean,
those are food chains.
yeah, but everything the home restaurants, they roll the streets up at 2:00. Right.
In the afternoon?
We don't have a restaurant in this town. We have
Well,
pizza
we've got-
places, but that's not a restaurant to me. That's just a pizza place.
Well, now we got
You
3.
guys see me go to the barbecue place, and when I say, I should say diners. I don't know if that's. I call more of a diner. Where you go have breakfast.
Yeah, like Andy Griffin Diner restaurant.
There's Bob Evans, but I don't consider that. I mean,
Yeah, that's a chain.
yeah, I consider a diner or a restaurant, named Alice's Home Cooked Meal or something like that, or it's not a chain. It's not pre-made this and pre-made that.
That's what you
It's
call
not a frozen patty that you throw on there.
Yep. I wish I paid more attention because my grandfather used to make his own potato chips.
Well, now,
those are it's pretty simple, but
the main thing with that nowadays is how are you going to cook it? The oil. Oil is so bad for you right now because of the way it's processed and stuff. Well, I'm sure you already know about that because you have to watch what you eat.
Yes. Yeah.
The nut oils, the vegetable oils are not. It's not vegetable oil anymore.
No.
It's synthetic stuff that
Synthetic.
it's
Can
horrible to fry stuff up now.
Yep.
That's where
I've
that
actually
air fryer. I'm using the air fryer more than I'm using my deep fryer in now.
right. You know what I actually started using? Because I mean, definitely read the labels. They're not going to tell you everything that's on labels, but read the labels. But I actually have turned to sunflower oil.
Oh, that's expensive now, though.
It well, actually, it
I
is.
feel like the Lord.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the ideal thing. Even though they tell you it's going to kill you.
but that's more natural than anything. If
Yeah.
it is, yeah. But you don't actually. You're not sure, but yeah,
I would rather have
bacon.
lard from an animal that I
Mhm.
raised or
Mhm.
knew that it was raised right than something that says bioengineered ingredient. That what is that?
Yep.
Oh, they're taking that name off of stuff and replacing it with another name.
The
I can't-
label, the logo.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, bioengineered, they taking off of stuff, but what they're replacing it with, I mean, it's the exact same thing, but
Yeah.
it's just a fancy. Well,
Yep.
you know, there for about a year ago, I didn't know how to cook hash browns, and I finally learned. You put an egg in there with it to hurry up and brown it up, and you put a cover over it.
Hmm.
Well greased beard.
Yep.
What life? If you like I am, when how many times have you ate and not had a greased beard?
Right.
You know, I
You know, if
mean,
I dig through this, I probably have food in there somewhere.
leftovers.
That's what my son Devin says. The one with the long beard. He's like, that's just my what I didn't catch now. I can at least finish off later. And I'm like,
There you go.
The other day, my
That's
son says, "You got something in your beard," and I'm like, and
Yep.
it was popcorn from 2 days ago. And I just go, "Yep, it's still good."
Yep.
I come up on a show and we start talking about food. Ain't this a crying shame?
Oh, that's how you came in. We lured you in.
I know.
We just started talking a little bit about it, and then you just kept it going.
And ain't nothing wrong with that, especially when it comes to home cooked food. That right there, that's how you can tell somebody was taught good.
Well, somebody said it in chat earlier. I forget who it was, but they said back to basics. Back to the basics. You need to
Well,
Yeah.
to be, you know.
I mean, it's like this right here. Okay. If you got a couple that's been married for a good while and they still skinny, they can't cook. But you get somebody who's
I
been
think
married
there's somebody at the door.
Oh,
But you get somebody who's a good cook and they've been married for a good while, you ain't gonna see no skinny people. I mean, you know, plain and simple.
I know. Who don't live for food? Hey, Eric.
No,
Hey.
nobody's there.
No one was there. It was that
No.
thunder again.
Yeah. Well, it's probably cats out there.
Yeah.
I didn't start it this time, Grace.
Well, I remember that
Just finishing it.
one day a cat was sitting at the door, and I'm in here, and I kept hearing a knock, and I go out there, and the cat's sitting up against the door and doing his little itchy thing, and then his arm kept banging on the door like somebody was knocking. I said, "Dang it, cat!"
bushcraft, we had the last cat we had would jump up on the handrail and reach up there and ring the doorbell to be home again.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have a doorbell, but that would be funny.
You know, that's been over 20 some years ago since we had that cat.
Wow.
That's the last cat I had.
Hmm.
But it's like I said, I've got to take to a certain cat, you know,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
like, yeah, just like a cat. You don't adopt a cat adopts you. And I believe that.
yeah. Well, that's with these cats. I had one cat, and I was asked to foster the other ones. And
Mhm.
then COVID hit, and then everything was locked up. So they asked if I would keep them until things opened up and everything. By that time, you
You
know,
were like,
8
nope.
months with the cats,
Yeah.
they were, hooked on me and everything, and I was hooked on them basically. So
Yeah, you
it was
keep
like
them up after that.
they said, if you want, you can bring the cats down now that we can accept cats and whatnot. And I said,
I don't think so.
I've got attached to these cats. Uh, can
I'm
we?
gonna keep them.
I'll go ahead and adopt them. And they just said, just go ahead and keep them,
Aw.
because chances are they wouldn't find homes for them anyway,
Right.
Well, it's
especially
like you.
especially after COVID.
Well, it's like this right here. If I done kept an animal that long,
Hmm.
I mean, I've done
Yeah.
took to it plain and simple.
Yeah.
Don't even think you're gonna come to my house and get it, because there's gonna be a problem then.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. They weren't like, whoa, we have to take them or anything like that. They understood, and they thanked me for keeping them,
Mhm.
because it's I mean, if you're involved with the animal shelter, um, our animal shelter does not euthanize animals. They find homes for them, and sometimes they have like probably 300 or 400 cats
Yeah.
in a real small building down there, and they take care of them, because they may get rid of 5 or 10 a week if they're lucky, and they
Mhm.
receive so many animals. And the most part of what they do there is all on donations, and it's just it's a horrible thing. I I couldn't I couldn't do it, because if I went to somebody's house and seen the way animals are treated,
Oh
I
gosh. Yeah.
I would I wouldn't be nice.
Right.
They can't say anything. They have to just go in there and rescue the animal and thank you very much and be on their way. They can't say anything. And I said I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can.
I would,
I
because
wouldn't have the job long, but I'd say something.
yeah, that it would be really hard for me to not to do stuff, because it's very sad, some of the stories and pictures you see.
Dude, to me, mistreating a cat is like mistreating a youngin.
Oh yeah,
Let me rephrase that. Mistreating an animal is
yeah,
like mistreating a youngin. And
Yep.
I don't go for it, period.
I have a really hard time watching those things, like the horses. Have you seen the videos where the horses hooves are overgrown,
I
Overgrown.
got
Yeah.
you. Look
and
like everything.
they're walking? That is, oh
Now, wait a minute. I'm not into horses that much. Okay. Never have been. Explain to me how the hooves get like that to
It's
begin
like your
with.
fingernails.
Like your
Oh,
fingernails.
is it?
That's
Yeah.
what a cow's hoof, a horse's hoofs, anything with hoof,
Yeah.
anything. A
Like
dog's head.
normally, like if a wild horse, they already know how to deal with that. They use it on
Yes.
rocks and stuff.
Yep.
But if a horse is pinned up in a dirt lot, say a dirt
Right.
lot or a field,
Mm-hmm.
they have no way of self doing that.
Right.
So
Naturally
they
doing it.
need to, where they go in and they use some scrapers and things.
Mhm.
I'm not a horse person either, but I know that their hooves will continue to grow, and
Well, now,
it's sad to
um,
see a horse trying to walk on big
It's
balls of
sad.
things on their
I
feet.
agree.
Yeah.
Well, now I've seen a few real fast videos to where, yeah, I don't know the tool that they're using, but it looks like it's melting the horse hooves up underneath after
Yeah,
you
Mm-hmm.
got.
yeah.
Don't that hurt them?
There's a nerve in there that, well, it'd be like your fingernail or a
Yeah.
cat's claw or something.
If you cut it down
There-
too much, it's gonna hurt. But if you watch what you're doing,
Yeah,
they're trained on how to do it.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, look,
Every
a
6
wild
weeks.
horse, a horse out in the wild is
Oh,
beautiful. I don't
there you
care.
go. We got somebody that knows what.
Yep.
Yeah,
Now, what are they called? Aquarians?
Every 6 weeks.
every
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Every 6 weeks. If it's
Good
not a
thing
wild
I ain't
horse.
got no horses.
Yeah,
Yeah. Their hoofs. Yeah.
and that's the thing. I don't know if because down in Mexico there are still wild Mustangs that run around.
No,
Mm-hmm.
And they
we
take
got
care of
wild horses.
they
on
take
the
care of their
coast.
own hooves and stuff because they
Yep.
don't have nobody. But I'm wondering if like a tamed horse, and I say tamed horse, but a horse that's been taken care of, if they were put out in the wild,
They
would
wouldn't
they
know what
know
to
how
do.
to do that stuff?
Yep.
Would their instinct kicked in to do that?
Right.
Well, now I know on the coast of North Carolina, we got wild horses out there. And I don't know what they are. I don't know if they
Jeff,
must. What?
Jeff, you talking about Chincoteague Island?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a smaller breed of horse that's out there.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I mean, even though I'm thinking it's like once a year, they will swim to an island out there.
Right. There was a
Horses
book and I
swim out
believe
there?
a movie called Misty of Chincoteague. It was the name of
Okay.
it.
Hey,
But-
quick question. How do we go from food
to horses?
to
Right.
horses?
Well,
Well, you
no,
gotta have
animals
horses.
and then horses. Well, that's dog food.
Well, you got to have horses to bring the food home.
The biggest problem is I ate lunch at 12:30 and all this food talk. Now I'm hungry again. And food talk.
Yeah. That's-
We'll
What?
get you some good old flapjacks.
You guys are talking flapjacks and biscuits. The week down here, we call it biscuits and soppy.
Dude,
We
let
eat the
me- let me
vein
tell you
flagon
something.
stuff down here.
Yep.
Coming up, other than flapjacks, I like the the Texas toast. Oh, what do you call it?
What,
French
French
toast.
French toast.
Mhm.
Oh,
And I never could find a recipe that I like. And about 3 years ago, I found a recipe. I
Use
said, "Let me
cinnamon
try it."
raisin bread. Cinnamon raisin bread is French toast. It's really good.
I'm gonna tell you, the only bad thing about this, I've still got more ingredients left over after I get full. I gotta pour about half of it out. That's the bad thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you need to
here.
go down to the local McDonald's and hook up.
I know we can pick right back to it if you want, B. No problem. You hungry?
Yeah. I mean, once we get fired up on it, it's hard for us to get off of it.
And
Don't
we,
forget the powdered sugar on your French toast too.
come on, you
Yes.
talk, and you got to mention that in front of a diabetic, really?
Powdered sugar and then like a syrupy fruit on top of that.
Oh, come on.
And then
Well, I
some
used to
magic
like
chocolate magic shell on top of that. There you go.
Strawberries.
In Nevada Palace, they had in Vegas, they had 99-cent Belgian waffle. And the
Oh,
waffle
never
was
ate one.
huge, and
Yeah.
I mean that about that thick, and it would have strawberries or blueberries or whatever fruit you wanted on top.
Cat, me
Whipped
too.
cream, and that thing was probably about 4 or 5 inches tall by the time it got there with all its stuff on it.
Waffle
Waffle
is a Belgian waffle with no
You had
syrup.
enough sugar to last the whole day.
I know you're gonna gain weight if you listen to us talk, right, Grace? Wait, we'll give you 5 more. Hold on. Let's think of something else to talk about.
I'm gonna turn the script here for a few minutes.
You
Well, I
already
was
did with the
talking-
horses.
No, it's gonna go a little bit past that. What I was talking about, and from what I saw on the news last night in Youngstown, Ohio, there was some type of rally that was going on. And here, they was not for sure, but it seemed like a 3-letter agency was also involved. There was an explosion. 7 people got hurt. 1 critical. The other one is no longer walking amongst the living.
Deceased.
Huh.
And this happened sometime yesterday around lunchtime. Now, I don't know if I know I heard it right, but I don't know how true all of this is. Because
No.
we knew.
Only thing that's popping up right now is some golfer. I have no idea what the thing is.
yeah, it was a young guy. They found him dead in his. I don't know if it was his hotel room or his house, but
Is that the second golfer?
he had a history of drug abuse and this and that.
Oh boy!
The article said that no.
I just seen something that just turned my stomach.
What did I send you that video that B. Chapman sent me of all the oozy stuff coming out of that meat? No.
No, this is even worse. This is the Vatican's World Children's Day featuring
Oh yeah, no.
the drag thingies.
Mm.
I don't even want to call them
Nope.
people.
Yeah.
Jeff, did you ever have a shrimp and grits Belgian waffle?
Oh, not a waffle.
Believe it
guys.
or not,
Shrimp and
even
grits.
though I live here in the South, I've never ate shrimp and grits.
It's
Oh.
because he's way up north.
Hey, let's don't get started with that. But no, but that is one dish I wouldn't mind trying. Shrimp
got
and
to.
grits.
As long as you make sure it's not instant grits,
No.
because I don't think that would turn out. Because there is a difference. I mean,
Sure.
Well, like
You can-
instant oatmeal and oatmeal, there's a difference between them two. You know. There for a long, long time, you could not run fast enough to give me shrimp. Grits.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Grits. But after I got out of the hospital in 2012, I had a craving for grits. And ever since then, I've been eating them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
You
the
know,
grits they have to be that creaminess.
Oh yeah.
That when they're like they stick to the spoon and they're
And you gotta add real cheese too. None of
uh,
this processed stuff.
and
Gotta be
and
100%
butter.
cheese. Sure.
what is real cheese anymore?
Sargento.
Well, the Amish got it.
Yeah, but then again, y'all have Amish farms up there. Where I'm at, there is none. And I
Oh,
saw something yesterday that turned my stomach. What was it? It was called something else, but he was making sauce. Hog
oh,
head
head cheese.
cheese.
Yeah.
Hog head cheese. And I've always heard of it, but I didn't know what it was. And I watched them on YouTube make hog head cheese, and I think
Oh,
halfway
making it.
through it, yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
making it look is gross, but I've had it. I've had it fried up for a sandwich.
I
Where
have tried. Yeah,
they
I
slice
have.
it. It's good.
head
I
cheese.
have tried souse meat like that, and when it comes to me and souse meat, it's like Bigfoot and spam.
Yeah, the cartilage stuff or whatever they call it, gel.
That
Man, they
gelatinous stuff.
got bones and everything else up in there. I can't, I've tried to eat it. Okay. I've tried 2 ways. I cannot, it cannot, it will not go down. It comes right back up.
Over 800 residents who live near the Los Angeles County landfill have filed a lawsuit claiming the toxic fumes are
Oh
poisoning
my
them. There's
dude.
actual fumes that come off of the landfill in Los Angeles.
Oh, lovely.
What do you expect when you live beside a county landfill?
Well, it's hard to say what stuff is being dumped there that they just bury.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Mhm.
disagree with that. But again, you live beside a landfill. Now if the community was already there and the landfill moved in, that's one thing. But I'm almost sure the landfill was there and y'all built houses around it.
Sometimes it is that way. Sometimes they just buy the land up next to you and you're stuck there. That's how it was here. There are some places, but there are laws. Um, how many feet homes are supposed to be? But then again, that's where that money comes into your city council and all that. They change them
It
laws
needs
all the time.
it needs to be how many miles you can be and how the
Yeah.
wind is blowing.
Mm-hmm. Idaho Garden Girl. Have a good day.
Yeah, I was looking
Idaho
for that
Garden Girl. I wonder if she lives.
the Youngstown thing. I don't see nothing in my news feed, but that
I
that doesn't
mean,
mean anything. It'll be breaking news in a week or something.
Back
yeah,
back to
after
the
that.
back to
Yeah.
the head cheese thing. My father-in-law makes it, and when you make it naturally, it's just the pork fat that holds the gelatinous together. But it's
Well,
pressed
now,
thing.
this one, they cut the whole hog up. The only part that they cleaned, it was 2 parts that they cleaned off of this hog. One of them was the ears, and the other one was the snout.
Yeah,
They
they get rid of
threw,
the ears and the snout. The ears and the snouts, they'll like dehydrate them somewhat and have them for animals, for treats or something. But they mostly go for the cheeks. The cheeks of the pig head has the
there's no cheese.
Yeah, there's no cheese, and I don't know why they call it cheese head, but
I believe I would sit there and try to eat another bowl of boiled chitlins before I eat this.
It's actually not that bad. I mean,
the one you were talking about doesn't. If they didn't clean stuff, I don't think I would eat.
No, I wouldn't have eaten it either. Nope.
That you have to start with clean stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Never made it or anything, but the ones I've seen were really good quality stuff.
But you got to think, and trust me, I'm Lord God, no way trying to be prejudiced on this. A black church was cooking it, and I'm thinking, how better could you get? I don't think white people can really cook chitlins as good as a black person. So I whooped in there and told the man I wanted a bowl of chitlins. He looked at me, he said, "Son, you ever ate chitlins before?" I said, "No." He got to laughing, went in there and brought me some out with a spoon. I don't think I got, 30 feet on the road past the church, and every bit of it went out the window.
Yep.
And I mean, no, that was nasty. Flat out nasty.
It's like that video I played where that girl comes in there with chitlins and she opens the lid up and the guy in the sink said he was out of the car. He said, "No, I can't handle that."
I will say this right here, okay? If anybody has ever smelt somebody cooking chitlins, I promise you one thing. You will never, ever forget that smell. You would prefer to get around 2 or 3 skunks that has not been descented.
Yep.
Well, down south, I don't see too many actually cooking indoors. It's usually outside on a big old pot.
Hang on. Yeah. When I was doing pest control, okay, they put me in charge of taking care of government apartments. Okay. There was one year, just as soon as I pulled up, I looked at the black guy. I said, "What in the Sam heck is that smell?" He got to laughing. He said, "Don't worry about it." That was the last apartment we went to that day. I walked in, got to heaving and gagging, and everything. I turned around and walked out. He said, "Do you know what that was?" I said, "No, that's why." He said, "She was in there cooking chitlins." And I said, "Don't never take me back to that house again." He got to laughing. We had to go back next day. But no, you will never forget that smell.
Yeah, remember that smell going into the L&B. Yep.
One thing they can cook better than probably anyone is collard greens.
Oh yeah,
some of the best collard greens I ever ate.
I will not deny that.
Oh,
or what do they call that? Wild greens, poke salad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my! If that's cooked right, that's better than any collard greens or turnip greens you'll taste.
Hey, Peanut. Yeah, because we were talking about last night when I was on Gels, and I was just thinking my grandpa used to ferment it like cabbage.
Oh wow.
Really?
I remember him putting it in the jars and everything, and putting the weights on it and whatnot.
Huh.
But that they did a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think of. And you met Jeff. You remember? Jethro guy.
You mean
Yeah.
He
Jethro?
fermented his beans.
You talking about Jethro and Granny?
No,
No,
it's
Appalachian.
it's somebody from North Carolina.
Okay.
I think his name. I don't think it's really Jeff. You say his name.
It's not Jethro, but the way you pronounce it, Jethro is the best we can do.
Yeah, he's real. Real.
Backwoods.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
It's like Jeff times 50.
If you don't understand the language, you won't understand him.
Yep.
Oh, who
Yeah,
was
you
it?
looking for his
Oh, I was playing a video of him on a live one night, and people in chat were saying, "What's he saying?" And I had to put closed caption on, and closed caption was
Can't
getting
you
every,
just-
about one of every 5 words.
Yeah,
I
But-
could understand him though.
I can too.
Yeah,
Well.
it's I don't know. I guess you just have to be around, and it's like Jeff rubs off on me all the time. I'll start talking to somebody and they'll like, "What'd you say?"
Appalachian American. There you go. Yep. Right. Suburban.
The words will pop right out.
Now, y'all can
What's
say
that?
what you want to, but up in the okay, I'm going to use North Carolina for example. All right, let's say the upper part, which would be around Virginia and Tennessee, the lower part would be down around Georgia. All right, they use different slangs of what they're talking about.
Mhm.
Another mountain person can tell exactly what part of the mountain you're from just
Yep.
by listening to the way you talk.
Yep. And they
Over,
didn't understand a
chill
word he
Thank
said.
And I'm almost pretty sure maybe 2 out of 5 will understand what this is. Who knows what a poke is? And by the looks of bushcraft, he thinks he knows.
Yeah, it depends. As in what?
Okay, I just bought a handful of candy, and the clerk put it
Oh yeah.
in a
Paper
paper
bag.
Yeah.
That's what Suburban said. I cheated. I look at what people say.
And they still use that up there too.
Well, that's good though, because then that means they're staying in their ways, you know.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
not letting anybody or anything else change them, you know.
Well, now you get up there around Boone, or places like that. They've changed,
Yep.
but you get somebody.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You have been challenged. Bye, Nut. Have a good day at work.
Suburban is like this. That's where my daddy's people are from. Okay, I was not born and raised in the mountains, but to listen to my daddy talk and my uncles talk and so forth, I know a wee bit of it.
You know the lingo a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was in class, they was giving me a quiz, I'd fail. Plain
Okay. Suburban hillbilly. What's a gully washer?
Uh-oh.
I've heard that. I've heard Mom and Daddy talk that many, many times. I know what that is.
What was that other?
Heavy rain?
Oh, holler.
Yeah.
And I've actually said that a few times up here in the. What's that?
Well, Suburban hillbilly, were y'all close to what they call Thunder Road? So believe it or not, a lot of my people were born and raised up on there. Yeah, a holla is a valley.
Fast moving water. And then there was a lot of talk about a creek or creek in a creek.
You said it right.
us New Englanders, we just got the difference between what a package store is and what a package store is. Damn.
Okay. My uncle back in the day bought a mountain up there. Well, let's say a half a mountain. And he called it Patty Mountain.
How do you buy just half a mountain?
They told him he was a damn fool for buying that mountain. He ain't a fool anymore.
Why? What happened with that? How did that change? How did that scenario change?
I'll tell you in the back room.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you in the back room. I can't tell it up on here. Because like I said, I still got kin people who live up there. And I don't want it to get out.
Up
I
north.
don't think he's done any videos in a well, he hasn't done a video in 3 months.
No, he ain't done one in a good while.
Yeah, and I showed the sorghum videos. Yeah,
Sure,
and that's when people were like, "What's he saying?"
It tickles the fire out of me to listen to somebody talk like that and to show it to somebody who ain't that has no idea what they say. Shut the hell up. Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh,
And don't you go it either, bushcraft.
No, I'll go ahead and show this video. Let me see if I can
Clinch
find
Mountain. I've heard that mountain, Suburban. Oh, let me tell you this right here, real quick. If you are a mountain person and they know you, don't think you're going to go up there and start some trouble. The chances are you may not come back out there. They do stick together.
How we pickle our beans and deletion.
They made a movie out of that, Jeff. It's called Wrong Turn.
Hatfields and McQuaid.
Oh shit!
Folks, this is Justro at Metcalf Mills. If you're wondering, Justro, why you got that big smile on your face? I'll tell you, we're one more day closer to having pickled beans. That's why I got this big smile on my face. We're going to check them out today. I checked them yesterday. I think they're good to go. So we're going to process them, get them canned, and put them in the jar. And hopefully we got a few left over to eat. All right.
Yesterday is
out
not
old pickly beans here. Make sure they ain't.
I like that job
around here.
Yeah, I need to find some in the Crocs or jars or whatever they're called.
Them when they get this far along. And you can see down in there, you can see that stuff that needs skimming off. And that's all floating on top of the water.
What's
And I
that
got
in the
this
middle?
nice skimmer here that was a gift from Miss Debbie down in Texas, and we really appreciate it, and we love yous down there. And we're gonna see how that works on them skimmings.
Oh shit.
It might work.
Oopsie.
Seems like it's gonna get the most of them. Look at that. Sticks right to that. Look at that.
Tink, 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 tink.
Skim it right off of there, just like that. And also, if there's any beans that's floating, it'll get them real good too.
Shit, put them in the pot.
Jar out for the time being. Everything should stay right where it's at. Get that
okay.
out of the way.
Yep.
To make it easier to skim. The plate should stay right where it's at. But look at them beans, how pretty. Now, them's on top floating, so I'm going to go ahead and throw them out with the skimmings. But once you take out that jar out of the way there, you can really do a good job cleaning up in here and getting everything. Look how pretty them beans are.
Ooh.
Now, this is going 2 weeks today. I think usually what we do is a maximum of 2 weeks. Some people like them to go even 3 weeks. It's one thing that you can adjust your pickle on how long you leave them. So, you know, if you on the grape leaves,
No, you got the grape
if
leaves.
you want to,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't want them as pickled, you just don't wait. Don't leave them in there pickling as long.
Never
All you
ate
gotta
pickled
do.
beans.
You can prevent having all them beans come out if you do a little better job than I did on the grape leaves, getting it sealed off around there. And if you got a perfect size, these churns are harder to get something down in because the neck it's littler than the vessel is. So it makes it a little harder to get things down in there to hold them down. But they make weights that are in 2 pieces.
Oh,
and
that
way you can kind of.
I just saw that when you highlighted it.
Yeah, he does the leather britches too.
Yeah.
Take my other spoon here.
In the living room.
See if we can fish out.
And it does take a little getting used to.
They just kind of come out around the plate. So I'm going to wash these off and try them and see what the flavor's like. Be sure when you leave your jar that you cover it back up real good, because you don't want no kind of a sneaking fruit fly or anything like that to get in there, because they will just ruin what you're doing here. So they'll ruin your doing. You don't want them to get in there. So cover it back up good. Well, folks, these beans are just, for my taster, they're just perfect. So that's 2 weeks. And they're just about perfect. So I'm going to call them good like I want them and make plans here in the next day or two to get them out of there and can them. So that's what's going to be happening.
Oh, boy. I'm glad you played this on 3.
Now, with this pickle bean business,
see, this is how you know he's done it.
But that's just part of the process.
See how everything is in stages?
Yep.
Yep.
First thing I'm going to do.
Oh, why is my heater
pan here? I'm going to get my
What is it, fatback?
my plate out.
I think it's potato peelings.
Oh, okay.
Get my plate out here. Just like that. Get all my grape leaves out. We don't need grape leaves around here. A lot of times that old nasty, not nasty, but
Oh,
that
it's
old
for the
Trash
chickens.
ball.
I'm gonna stick to your grape
Yeah,
leaves.
chickens
and
are the
you carry it
pig.
Right out with them.
Yep. Well, you may have a pig eating a chicken.
Oh, here comes my
The
chief.
only place you're really getting a smell is off of that top part. So you ain't really getting a smell off of the bean. It's not the bean you're smelling. It's that what's
Look.
going on top of that water where it meets the air. See,
About like chitlins, huh?
that's where stuff happens, where the water meets the air.
Water meets air.
All right. We're gonna be right easy here.
See how much of a mess
Try to
he
get
makes.
this about the right angle. We're just gonna.
Oh,
fold it
okay. I
down
was wondering
like
again
that.
for that.
Try not to make a mess.
Damn, look at the beans he's got in there.
And I just scooped the top of the water off yesterday, so I ain't too worried about scooping it off. But if there's anything on there when you go to do this, go ahead and scoop it off and clean it off before you take your beans up out of it. I just scooped it off yesterday, so there really wasn't nothing on there for me to get off.
That's enough beans for about 3 months around here.
Just like that.
I ain't had none for a long time.
I got
Your trusty old
3 jars left.
Oh man.
Of
You just
pickled beans?
hold still for just a minute now. Let me wash my hand off. I got something to show you here.
Uh-oh.
Just hold still for just a minute.
Oh, still.
I'm like you, Bushcraft. I'd love to
Hold
have
still
that
a minute.
jug.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just for making sauerkraut and beans.
Mhm.
Boss man, you're not going to find
I'm
a
gonna show you
jar
something
like
pretty.
that at the store.
Oh no, you can't. You gotta find somebody.
Look at that.
Oh man, look at that.
Look
Look
at
at
the
the
pickled
beans
beans
in
in
there.
there. Oh my goodness.
Damn, what's that the way I
Man, look at that. Can't wait to sink a tooth in them.
Hold still, don't move.
All right.
Yeah,
Very gently.
I can find them
Tilt
at
this
an
up, run
antique
them all
place,
out.
but
But the
I go
price.
broke
May not need my scooper
to buy
for
one.
shit.
Yeah.
Be able to roll them out.
They're
Just
like
don't wanna
$400 or
overroll.
$500 in the antique
Miss your
store down
strainer.
here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them one day if I can go. I can record in there and whatnot.
Just rinse that pickling
Dude, that's
water
a
off
heck
of
of
them.
a markup price for one of them.
Well, they're antiques. They don't make those
Now,
things
see, in the
anymore.
olden days, they just
You need
leave
to find
these in
you
the
some old
crop.
school
See,
farmhouse.
they just go out there and dip out what they wanted when they wanted it. Put their weight back on them, push them back
See,
down under the
that
water,
I
and they
remember.
kept there right on and on.
Yeah.
I
They
remember
might get
having to
mighty
get
strong. You learn the minimum amount of salt to use, and
we got a quart
they
jar.
might get strong, but they'd wash them good and fix them and eat them, boy. You
And
talk about good.
my grandpa would tell me
Talk about
to
good.
go out there and scoop some beans, and
Right there.
he would say, make sure when you scoop them out of there that you don't touch the brine with
I wish
your
you
hands.
could taste of them.
Scoop it just at the top, and then bring the jar in.
It's a green bean with the best pickle flavor. Man.
Pat
So good.
Evans, is that the hand cranked one?
Oh,
I'm
meat
gonna get a
grinder.
jar.
Isn't here in a minute.
My funnel. I just washed these jars so they're good and clean.
Ooh.
Dip them right out of here.
Onions and beans.
Got them
Yeah.
rinsed real good.
I'll probably do my green beans here probably in a couple weeks. If my corn comes up, that is. If not, then I'll still grow some beans.
So
Well,
be
the
sure
bad
to
thing
watch
about
them
it is
things.
There is a store right up the road here that gets green beans.
They like the smell of these pickled beans.
Yeah.
That's right down their line.
I go up there and I'll buy about a bushel of them at a time, and I'll bring them home.
I've caught them and killed them and done everything else. And
Yeah, that's what
still ain't got
that's
rid
what
of
I'll
all
probably do. In the
He's making a lot of noise, ain't he?
Oh,
Well, I have
actually,
learned if
you
you-
know what? I might actually
pretty good, pretty fast, you can
go up
slap
there
them
now.
down.
But they got strawberries, a
smack
big
down on
basket
them.
of strawberries for
Get rid of
$5.
them that way.
Why don't you
Now
try
we got
picking
that.
some beans,
Look at that.
bushcraft?
Two
Look
quarts
at that.
of strawberries for $5.
What?
Now, what
2
we'll do
quarts
now,
for $5?
Yep.
right easy, fill this
My
up with water.
God.
Right up to the shoulder. Clean my
Don't
jar
forget
rim off real
to
good. But what I do
get the bubbles out.
is I set these things down, and when I rattle them like that, that shakes all the air bubbles. Pretty much you can see the bubbles rise up. That pretty much takes care of all the bubbles. See them there on top? And I do that on every jar.
I mean that jar looks really nice.
Don't it though?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm back in a second. I'm going to mute it.
All right. Right easy. Run them out.
That's not tap water.
I don't
It's
get no
well
big
water.
hurry. I'll get out a jar at a time. Make sure they get
Yeah,
washed
he lives
good.
out in the boonies.
There ain't no need in trying to get more than that the way I do it. I just want to get them washed real good. So.
Oh.
Rinse them off real good. All the pickle
Yeah,
and
most
water.
people just use them for decorations nowadays. You
That's
should,
all I care about.
when he has his setup, there's another video that he does that he has sauerkraut, his beans, and all kinds of different stuff that he ferments. I'll go ahead and
Jar. Get me a different.
when this is over. I guess I can speed this up because it's pretty much the same thing here.
So you can just take the lid off like that. And I think what you'll end up with is some beans above the water that you might have to dip off. They might, get dried out or something, but that's what you do to prevent that.
But let me go ahead and stop this, and I'll get a link if anybody wants to check him out. But he does leather breeches, and I mean all the old school stuff. He used to have that faucet too. Well, that's the thing that they don't make. Nowadays, you have to replace things like every couple of years. Some of them old faucets and stuff would last 20 years.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, them some good beans.
That was some of the first batch that I canned back in 21.
Oh, yeah.
They still taste as good today as they did before they got canned.
Yeah, and if you notice, like if you get a can of, and I said a can of beans from the store, if you start cooking them up and stuff, they start falling apart. They almost turn into a mush.
Well, you take that right there. The only thing that's in there is, believe it or not, about a half a teaspoon of salt and water. That's it. No other chemicals. Thing. Now y'all go into y'all's pantry and grab a can of beans and tell me the ingredients.
Yeah.
That's those.
Natural flavoring and di-5-7.
That's
A
what I'm
bunch of
saying.
letters and numbers that you have no idea what it is.
Yeah. And that was, like I said, that was back in 21. That's the first green beans I ever canned. And by God, we still eating on them today.
Mm.
You know, it looks good. But so
I think those are just regular green beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I snapped them, I cleaned them, I washed them, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't remember. I don't think I blanched those. I'm almost sure I didn't, but yeah. And now my wife, Mama taught her how to do it. Take a can of green beans and cook them to where they taste just like they came out of the garden. You know, you can't taste the difference.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had muted for a minute. My neighbor came by.
Rebel Canners. Hello, lady.
Hello, Rebel.
Oh, I got to say something. I saw
He's a Joe.
your last broadcast yesterday. I believe it was. And the way it sounds, you never knew that there was a Lowe's Foods. They are totally different than Lowe's Home Improvement. You know, they're
I think what was talking about that they're going to have they're doing grocery store too.
I know that's been out for years around here, Lowe's Foods.
Oh,
and like about everything else, you know, they got good food in there, but it's a little bit more pricier than a regular grocery store. But they're good.
Well, it's like Bueller's over here, like the canned goods and most of the stuff I won't touch because it's way too expensive.
Yeah.
But their meat, they actually have a butcher, you know, the kind of guy that's in the back cutting the meat up and stuff.
Yeah.
And they have where you get 5 things for $25. And sometimes they'll do a special to where it's 6 things for $25. And it's just different cuts of meat and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now
it's kind of like a bundle thing.
Now the grocery store that we go to has got its own butchers back there in the back. And I mean, I'm sorry, y'all gonna laugh, but it's Piggly Wiggly, you know. And around here, that's about the only grocery store I know of that hires butchers anymore. You know, Walmart don't have no more. Food Line, I've not seen them at Food Line.
I don't think we have Piggly Wiggly anymore.
Or if
remember
they got butchers, it comes in off of a truck, you know, and they wrap it like they just cut it up. But
hey, Bester.
Grace Johnson, it depends on what you're canning. Now, green beans will last indefinitely.
Okay. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Piggly Wigglies. Just not. It's all south of me, so it's almost at the border.
Grace, I'm gonna say Rebel Canners would be a good person to ask questions like that.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
But now green beans, I've gone in my grandma's house and her mama or grandmother had green beans that he done. and you just pop the top on them, cook them up. There is just certain foods that will last forever if
Yep.
it's done right.
Rebel just said right there, because Daisy Backyard asked also. It depends on the storage, but as long as the lids are sealed and no rust, I have
Yeah.
things last over 10 years. Keep them dry and out of the light. Yep.
Can somebody drop a link for Rebel canners?
That's the main thing is you get a lot of people saying, and I'm a believer that you take that ring off too, because
Yeah.
and I actually I don't know if it was her
Give you a false seal
or not. Well, the thing is, the lid and the ring are two different metals.
Yep.
Right.
And when you have two different metals, that's where the rust will begin. And then that rust starts, and then there goes your seal.
The rings are more or less if you're gonna stack. You're not supposed to put them tight anyway. I think, right?
The rings are just there to make sure that you get a seal during the process.
During
and
the
then
process.
you just you take them off.
Once
There are
the
some people say if you can stack them, and it even says you can stack them, but
I wouldn't.
that's only for 18 months.
Yep.
If you're wanting to save your stuff for longer periods, take that ring off.
Now, does it? Wait a minute. I know what I'm wanting to say, but the words ain't coming out the way I'm wanting them to. Don't it also depend on the temperature?
Oh yeah.
When you can it, they cannot be above a certain degrees.
You mean when you're storing them?
Right.
Yeah, because the ideal is a certain temperature, like in the 40s and 50s. You don't want to. Once the food in there gets so hot, then that's when you get the cloudiness and stuff.
Yep.
Well, now, I have not had a problem with the cloudiness because I always, when I can, I drop vinegar in the water.
That's
that's
what they say. You can stack them, but if you look at the expiration date on the jars and the lids, it says that you can store food for 18 months. And that's the problem right there. It's because you're going to leave that lid on. And I wouldn't stack them anyway. I mean, I would if I had to, but it's so much better when you don't.
Rebel Canner, you just got another subscription, lady.
Yep, me too.
As long as
she always puts out really good videos.
I thought I was sub to her, but a lot of things I haven't been on much of anything, so I think I get kicked off of a lot of stuff if you don't keep up with it. Oh.
Every time I go to subscribe, my screen darkens. What's going on?
It's probably your computer is slow.
No, I'm on my phone. I'm on.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say your computer can't keep up with the new graphics when you subscribe. The screen's supposed to shade and do funky things. I was explaining, like if you go to a channel and you're watching a video and they say subscribe. The subscribe button will actually highlight around the edges, and then confetti comes out from it.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. Everybody thought I was crazy when I said it did this, and I said, no, you have to pay attention. And sure enough, you see when you see somebody like if somebody comes and they watch this and I say subscribe, it'll actually light up and do that. It's to get people to
It just
hit
did it
that
for me
button.
when I did it.
It ain't letting me subscribe.
You hit the right button?
Yeah,
Well,
it
you're
ain't
only
but
supposed
one
to hit
on
it
there that
once.
say, oh, never mind. I misread it. Okay. Add one.
you probably got your subscriber account went up and went down, up and down, up and down. Just jumps over punching the button over and over again.
No, I mean the screen would dark. It'd go dark.
Yeah, it's part of that, thing where
Yeah.
it changes the color or it dims and little things come out of it.
Look, am I gonna have to show you what I'm talking about? No, little things did not come out of it. Everything just went dark.
Oh, when you when you first subscribe to somebody, it does like a little the same thing when you do a thumbs up.
Well, it didn't do that on her channel.
Huh.
I had to. Never mind. Shit, it's 3 o'clock already.
Yep.
Yeah. And I said I wasn't going to be on here.
What I say, 5 hours later.
People like us, we got to quit lying like that. When we say we ain't going to be up long, we always are.
Making us look bad.
Now, I've got to go back through and check out Rebel Canners.
Yeah, and that's the thing that she's real good about is answering questions. Unlike a lot of bigger channels, you'll ask a question and it'll just sit there.
Well, now is she East Coast, West Coast, or Central?
Kind of centralish.
Okay. Oh, she loves questions. Dang, I almost slipped up there.
Yeah, I've had some peaches and pears that were the jars were the jars were actually blue. That'll tell you.
Man, that's some old ones.
And they were thick and heavy, and I was dared to, and they were found buried in dirt, and was dared to eat some. And I opened that thing up, and they were just like, I wouldn't say fresh, but they were tasty as ever. What are you doing?
Well, that's when peaches were peaches also.
Yeah.
They wasn't sprayed with chemicals.
Well, the peaches I got up at the farmer's market, I had one, and they're kind of small peaches.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I had to go clean my beard.
I've been in that situation with peaches before. Matter of fact, I've had to pull over on the side of the road and take my shirt off and clean my face.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't remember the blue jars and the greenish ones.
I remember the blue ones, but not the greenish ones.
Yeah.
But I think, oh God, what, 6, 7, 8 years old. That's what they were blue.
Mm-hmm.
And the greenish ones, I'd say would date back before that. I may be mistaken.
I do a bit of canning, but I don't like to. There's too many experts that never canned before that will tell you everything that you did wrong. And
Yeah.
like I said, I've done a few bits of canning here and there for some specialty stuff like my cowboy candy relish.
I made some ballistic gel one time.
monkey butter.
That was the last
But-
thing I canned.
Yeah, there's always experts that
No
have
evidence.
been doing it for years but never canned.
You know, if they probably canned, they'd probably have a skylight in their kitchen.
Mm-hmm. You know, I got a lot of hate for calling because everybody knows that you use vinegar to wipe the rims of your jars, and I got so much hate for calling it rim juice. Of all things,
What?
that's disgusting. Why are you calling it rim juice? I'm like, because you clean the rim.
Some people just got their minds in the gutter when you hear that word rim.
Ooh, look at what Jennifer Ocean posted. Hokey pup jelly. I found an ancient canning jar with glass lid in the dirt in my woods a few weeks ago. Perfect condition.
Well, you know, back in the day, they used to put their money and stuff in them jars and bury it next to the trees. A lot of times, you might want to go check around that tree again, see if there's change and stuff down in there or coins.
I gotta.
You know what? People need a life. You are. You know, she probably should right in with our group.
Oh, I know she's got those people in her videos too. I think everybody does.
And after a while, when you see the name pop up, you just keep scrolling on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, my son's about to stop by in about 20 minutes and drop me off some venison.
Oh.
Drop you off some what?
Venison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it here at 3.
Yep. It is
Crazy
3.
Irish. I'll be up there here in a little bit.
Yeah, I had somebody this has been a while. Actually, they gave me the deep freeze I'm still using. The whole bottom of it was filled of deer meat.
Oh wow.
They said is it okay if you take some of this deer meat off of our hands?
Oh yeah.
Oh darn, I suppose.
If I have to. You twisted my arm, thank you. Yep.
And he said that with a smile. Darn.
Oh yeah. First thing I made was chili.
I have not had venison in over 10, 11 years.
Oh,
I know.
I haven't had it for a good while.
Oh gosh, I know he's got some venison jalapeno sausage that they made.
Oh.
Oh, they just might not be there when you want to come back from, Bobby.
Vester's starting to come out with some pretty good short clips here lately.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I need to do that too. I've been sitting there looking at my metal detector up there and like getting out there and getting some of that done.
In my backyard where my garden is, I'll swear up and down to the day I die, they had a trash pile out there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Still pulling up metal hatchets and picks and blue jars.
Oh,
Like
see?
it. Hey,
Yeah.
that's all right. I'll dig them down, go through it with a rake.
Oh boy, excuse me, yawning. Why am I yawning at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Ugh. So that
Yeah,
work?
I did a video one time, me going out and doing it. The first time using the metal detector I got,
Mhm.
I found a quarter and a bunch of trash.
Yep.
I want you to take a metal detector and go to where the carnival was, but let's say like the day after, where all the rides are. Man, I'd rack up on some money.
Down there, I would rather go through the woods. Not so much up here. I mean, because more of the Civil War stuff happened down south. I would rather.
I know where a
go
lot of
down
the
in the
woods
woods.
are to go through like that. But then again, there are some woods around here you don't want to get in.
Well, that's the thing. I would go with somebody that is from that area. I wouldn't just go in the woods. Wouldn't be
Chances
seen,
are you
seen
may not
ever
come
again.
back out.
I'll be part of the woods.
Yeah. I found a frame to an old truck in the woods, tons of glass bottles from way back, like 50 years ago and beyond. The license plate from a 1072. Really?
They
Damn.
didn't have cars back then. Maybe she meant
Yeah, they did too,
1972.
but they had round wooden wheels on it.
Yep. My old house. I miss my old house. It was one of the original homes from this town. My friend's old house used to be an old pharmacy of the original
Oh,
town.
yeah. That's good too.
Oh. Have y'all ever heard of the Battle of Alamance?
Not that I know of.
The Battle of Elements.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's better.
1972. There you go. 1072. That was a thing. No.
Well, Bushcraft, pull up the Battle of Alamance.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here.
We'll look at it.
I done went over 3 minutes.
All right.
I keep this up. I'll have to go in there and share me fixing dinner.
Yep.
Hey, yeah, hurry up and fix dinner early tonight. Send us out today is hump day.
Yeah.
Don't get deep.
We go ahead and hit this. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight, and for those who missed the first part, you may want to go back and check out after about 15 minutes is when we start talking serious.
Yep.
About this, the bird flu stuff that's coming about.
Yep.
And it's not fear, it's just
fact
of what's happening.
It's just flu is flu. It's what it is. It's when the government gets involved is when you have to pay attention.
You want to mess something up, let the government in on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's 3:06 in Boston time too.
Anyway, I might have a guest for Friday. I'm not sure yet. Still talking. He's I think he's got close to 500,000 subscribers. And he told me he would behave on my channel. So
okay.
I'm a little worried already.
Oh, 101.
No. But anyways, I'm gonna run this. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.
Wait a minute.
Hey guys, thank you all for making this crap great again. Let's continue to support you.